We will be getting started shortly. Countdown timer on my end is about to finish in about 30 seconds. So, we have 4 incredibly good runners here today. We have Shiny Zenny, probably familiar to all of you, but Shiny Zenny is currently the 100% world record holder, also known to be a great RBO runner, and it has been running 90% recently, most notably KPDR, which is he calls it any percent classic, recently achieving a 42 time in that. We'll see if he goes with that or goes with PRKD for this route, which is Phantoon first, the fastest route. We have Rhea in here, who I believe is the most recent 41 runner, actually. So Rhea is currently was primarily known for GT Classic back in the day, and by back in the day I mean about a year ago, but now has been grinding that any percent and is currently ranked 7 across all any percent runners. We have Lynx and Sloters, and if you all are SpeedGaming fans, this should come as no surprise, but Lynx and Sloters were the top 2 of the last SGLIVE 2021 any percent tournament. Sloters being the winner in the end, and Lynx was the runner-up. It is good to know that Sloters also has recent PB. All these runners are extremely good. Shiny Zenny, Rhea, and Lynx all have 41s, and Sloters, I believe, has a 42-11 now. So, very good match. This is going to be great. All right. So, right now we have Zenny and Rhea heading into the Ridley room. And okay, now we have the feed for Lynx and Sloters. So this is definitely going to be an extremely high level match. Really excited to see what goes on here. You know, it's an interesting one because for this tournament we have 8 qualifiers. Runners need to complete at least 2 of the 8 qualifiers. And so it's going to be interesting to see the strategies that these runners employ. There's a really good chance that Zenny actually opts to run what's known as old route, which is Kraid first, Phantoon, Draygon, and then Ridley, that boss order, also known as KPDR. And one of the reasons why that might be the case is that route it's definitely slower. You can maybe estimate roughly 90 seconds or so, but it is much safer as a route because you will be getting more equipment. You'll be getting that plasma. You don't have to deal with going into Ridley with under-equipped with very little like E-tanks and equipment in general. It's pretty common that runners will actually die running Super Metroid, and if you die, you have to start back at the beginning. So it's pretty rough to actually have to end up dying in this sort of qualifier setting. So it's possible that maybe some of these runners take the approach of being a little bit safer at the start, maybe picking up an extra E-tank, picking up extra missiles that they wouldn't normally, and then perhaps when they get a few runs on the board, they might actually go harder and choose to maybe skip some of those safeties and go for a better time. Seeding in this tournament will be determined by the average of their 2 best times. So there is an incentive to really push for a good time, especially if you know, you're like the first seed or the second seed. You don't want to play the other second seed, you know, coming into the finals of the tournament. So, as of right now, I didn't get to see the series times, but it seems like all these runners are neck and neck. Sloters is going to be the interesting one here because he does not play with what's known as the moonfall. So as you see, the other 3 runners are flying down the climb shaft right now, and Sloters is just slowly wiggling down to the bottom. So that's actually about a 4 or 5 second time loss. So in a sense, you could say that Sloters plays with a bit of a handicap. But you know, some people prefer to play that way, and his movement will be a little bit different because he can shoot while walking backwards and not get stuck in this moonwalk position. So Zenny getting his fabled morph grab. The way that Zenny grabbed that morph ball is really difficult. You sort of hook Samus to the right in a way where you don't actually have to end up doing a little extra wall jump on the way back. So Zenny's movement being pretty clean right now. Messed up that down back slightly, so the Lynx and Rhea have both been able to catch up a bit. Sloters getting stuck in that morph right there, so Sloters falling a little bit more behind. It's important to note, Sloters was he won the tournament last year. So even though he's taking, he's making a few mistakes right now, and he's falling a little bit behind because he hasn't played Moonfall. The name of the game here is consistency, and Soldiers has shown that he is probably at the top when it comes to race consistency. Lynx being another one that's extremely good at being consistent and stuff like that. Now, here we have the pit room coming up for Shiny, Zanny, and Rhea. Rhea getting the pit boost. And we have the climb. So, Rhea is definitely a runner that we have to speak about here, because Rhea is not only is an incredible runner, he is probably at the highest level, one of the fastest when it comes to being able to do rooms real quickly. Right now it looks like he did mess up the parlor a little bit, but when it comes to just doing the climb and the parlor really, really quickly, there's very few in the world that can probably match him. So definitely an interesting runner to have in this tournament, because he is fairly new to PRKD. He only picked it up, I think only in the last few months or so, but his skill is definitely up there at the top. Okay, so all players grabbing the bombs right now. Definitely a little bit of RNG in this fight. Depending on how many missiles that Bombtrizo drops and the drop spread of the missiles, you may not be able to one-round the Bombtrizo. So let's see how this goes. Okay, Rhea getting no missiles, so that's the issue. He's gonna fall maybe a little bit further behind because of that. Oh, maybe he did, sorry. Maybe I missaw that, but... Okay, every runner pretty much in the same spot. Rhea a little bit ahead at this point. But yeah, Bombtrizo has, I think, 1,000 HP, so each missile does 100 damage, and so there's an issue there. If you pick up all the missiles that Bombtrizo provides, then you actually have to wait for the next spread of missiles that he drops in order to get the fast kill on him. So ideally what you do is he drops a few missiles, you pick up a few of them, and then you use all those missiles, and then you pick up the rest of the missiles to one-round ET. Alright, so, interesting. This is the telltale sign of what's going on here. So as you can see, Zenny is running through those pirates. 139 health. You can see that Lynx has max health, and Sloters also has max health. So see, 139 health, 5 missiles. Max health, 2 missiles for the other runners. Now what this means is Zenny is going to actually run KPDR this route. He is going to go for Kraid first. When you get to the red tower, you'll see him go straight down. And then you're going to see the other 3 runners go straight to Phantoon. They're going to go up the red tower to the wreck ship. So Zenny opting to choose a more safe route for this qualifier. I think he wants to get a few times on the board before he really starts pushing really big times maybe later on. And I think that's a good way to approach it. I think some of these other runners want to just go for big times right off the bat, and then perhaps if that doesn't go well, then maybe they'll just play a lot safer. But, you know, Zenny being, at the moment, I believe, the second fastest runner in the world for the old route, should be able to put up a pretty comparable time to these runners. Alright. So, Rhea really showing how strong his early game is right now, because technically, in a sense, Zenny should be ahead, because he decided to run through the pirates. You do save a little bit of time. It's not that significant, but you do save a little bit of time overall by running through the pirates and not having to deal with shooting them and waiting for the drop. But as you can see, Rhea is still ahead, so Rhea really showing how strong his early game is. Alright. Charge me pickup for all the runners now. And we will be heading over to the red tower, where we will officially see the decision by these runners. Alright, so Rhea going up the red tower. And Zenny heading down the red tower. And now we have Lynx and Sloters also both going up the red tower right now. So red tower is definitely a tricky room, but all the players actually had no issue going through it. Those rippers get in the way, and if they are locked on a fixed cycle when you first enter the room, and once the camera first sees those rippers. Now the problem is, if you shoot your shot up onto the red tower, there's a block you have to break. If you don't get up there the first time, you miss a wall jump, you hit a ripper and you fall and you take damage. Now the problem is the rippers start getting all over the place and in weird spots. So even though the first time you can, for the most part, smoothly jump up, the second time around you sort of have to wing it, and it gets really, really bad if you're not very experienced. But all the runners having no issues going up there. So we have Rhea, Lynx, and Sloters heading over to the red tower. They're gonna have to get through the moat. This is one of the most notorious rooms in New Route. Right now we have Zenny going for the quick kill, and this is not something you have to deal with in KPDR. KPDR being old route. PRKD, which is the new route that the other 3 runners are going for, have this issue. So Rhea did not get the good frame to get the CWJ. Sloters did, so Rhea has to do a bomb jump back up, which is very difficult, and he makes it over. Sloters gets the CWJ. So that is the fastest way to get across, but the initial setup, the first jump is frame perfect, and the second jump is a 2-frame window, which doesn't really feel like a 2-frame window. It feels more like a 1-frame window in and of itself. Lynx actually took a little fall in the moat right away, but quickly recovered, jumped onto the platform, and got the horizontal bomb jump back up. And so didn't lose that much time overall, but is now behind as a result of it. Zenny looks like he's picked up that Various suit. He's gonna grab some. He's gonna go ahead and grab some nice goodies and head over to Phantoon afterwards. All right, so coming up for the 3 new route runners, we have Phantoon. This is going to be a. This is probably the biggest RNG point of the game. Phantoon can give you a slow, mid, or fast pattern. And so this can determine a lot of time gain or time loss. So Rhea getting a fast right off the bat. Oh, nice, pretty nice Doppler. There's a 5 missile Doppler for Rhea. Fast for Sloters. So Rhea needs a 6 missile Doppler here to kill Phantoon in 2 rounds, which is what you would have ideally. Sloters getting a fast. Does he have enough misses for a 2-round? He does not. So he's gonna have to get a 3. He's gonna have to go for a 3-round here. Ooh, Rhea getting hit by a flame there. So that was really unfortunate, but we'll have to 3-round. I think Lynx getting a slow right now. Let's see if Sloters can. Was that yes, that was a 3-round for Sloters. That looked like a fast mid. Ooh, Rhea taking a death. Unfortunate. That's unfortunate, but Phantoon, this is one of the risks with going Phantoon first. Even though it's the fastest, one of the issues with it is that Phantoon does 40 damage each time he hits you, whether it's his body or if it's the flames. The problem there is that you just have so little health. You have 200 health at most. Most of the time you're going in with 2 shots, and you just have to run around and try not to die. So it's unfortunate, but Rhea does take the death here, and that does mean he will have to start over. So right now we have, that means of these 4 runners, we do have Sloters in the lead. Sloters did get the fast patterns, fast mid. Lynx, I didn't get to see a second pattern, but I do assume that he was able to 2-round, but he did have a slow pattern at the start, which is not good. So Zenny heading over to Speed Booster right now. It's going to be hard to say where these runners will match up, but a decent idea is you can maybe compare Zenny's gravity time and the time that these 2 runners reached the LN elevator. That's going to be a decent guideline on when to kind of keep track of where these runners are in the race right now. All right, so we have Lynx heading over to the just finishing up the attic. That's another difficult room in this route, and we have Sloters going through the bowling room. So Sloters running through those spikes. That is a really dangerous room. Now the problem is those spikes actually do 60 damage. So you have 200 HP max going in here. So at most you can take 3 hits. And the reason why this is dangerous is if you accidentally take another hit, there's a good chance you could end up dying or getting health bombed and just taking a massive time loss. So that gets really dangerous, and it could be a serious problem, and you could just straight up die. We actually saw this happen to Sloters in Game 2 of the finals last year, where it was a pretty close match, and Sloters just died at bowling, and that was it. And he had to. That was right after that. We went to Game 3, because it's just over. There's a lot of things that can just immediately kill you in this route. All right, so we do have a real cutie arc getting subbed in. You can expect there's a good chance that all these runners will just, from the statistics I've seen last year, it seems like about 40% of the time a runner will end up dying in the qualifiers. So you can expect something like this to happen pretty often. But as of right now, it looks like Cutie is actually ahead of Sloters by just a little bit here. So we didn't get to see his pattern, but Cutie is actually currently ranked 3 on the leaderboards. Definitely one of the fastest runners, period, just at the top. Cutie opting to go for a 1 farm on the CAC. I think Sloters did a 2 farm there. I didn't get to see right there. Meanwhile, we have Lynx heading down as well. And we have Zenny heading back up to the wrecked ship. Okay, so we see the Alpha Spark from Zenny. Now this spark is it's interesting. At the highest level of KPDR, or I guess you could say at the high level of KPDR, you don't actually see players do that spark very often. You'll see Zenny grabs that 1 farm very quickly. And the reason he does that is because the reason why you fails the red tower down grab there, that's okay, he'll just get a quick backup. That is a bit of a time loss though. But the reason why you don't see players do the spark that Zenny just did is that you actually need all of this health. You're gonna head to Phantoon, and immediately after you're gonna be heading to Draygon. There's a lot of damage that can be done in the process, and there's another spark that you have to do to get across the moat in this route. So that combined with the fact that very often players will do certain strats in Phantoon involving X factors, you'll probably hit Phantoon a bunch. Some players opt to, not Zenny, but some players will opt to do strats in the attic that involve sparking. You won't actually have that much health because there's another spark you have to do in the bowling to save time. So with all that in mind, you have to spark multiple times. This health right now for Zenny is actually, you need to keep it as high as possible, and it starts all the way from that Alpha Spark. Okay, meanwhile, we have Sloters and Cutie side by side pretty much. Sloters is pretty much just behind 1 Fanfare. And we have Lynx heading down to the high jump boots. So Lynx trailing behind. Let's see if Zenny can get this ocean fly. This is a very difficult trick. So it releases the charge shot. The charge shot has to open the door in time where Zenny can get through. If not, there's a backup. Oh, Zenny gets that ocean fly. That is a tough trick. And really, really cool. So as you can see, 46 HP. 46 HP. It looks like Zenny didn't get the health that he wanted. So even though KPDR is known for being the safer route, Zenny is the kind of player that is not gonna play it safe. He's gonna play for fast times, and so 46 HP. Phantoon with the various suit does 20 damage, so he could die in 3 hits. Depending on this pattern, he might take a hit right off the bat, and it's really, really dangerous. Zenny being also another runner that likes to go for the 1-round Phantoons. I think right now, as of right now, there's 3 runners that are currently going for something like that. That would be Rhea, Emmett, and Zenny. So it's a little bit easier in KPDR, but we'll see. Fast pattern right off the bat. This is a little bit dangerous because Zenny has 26 health. Picked up some health, so Zenny has 2 shots from being dead. Killed. Okay, so this is going to be a slow, unless there's like a 0.5% chance that this is going to be a mid, but this is going to be a slow. When you see that left pattern, you can expect either a fast or a slow. So this is a fast slow for Zenny. He should be safe. I don't think he'd die with 41 HP. That's a nice 2-round. So ultimately, that's a good time for Zenny. We're gonna have to see how he gets to the rest of the wreck ship. His health is pretty low, so depending on these drops, it can be a little bit tricky. Meanwhile, we have Cutie, Sloters, and Lynx all going through Upper Norfair, picking up the rest of the items that they'll need to get ready to fight that Ridley fight. So something that you want to keep an eye out for in this route, Cutie's super count is really good. So even though Sloters is ahead right now, yeah, so Sloters got that one farm, got 0 supers. Cutie is gonna farm, and so Cutie's gonna grab speed booster, go back to the farm room, probably farm once or maybe even 0 times. I think he's just gonna farm 1 time and he's gonna go. Sloters has 2 supers. That's really bad. So he might have to sit on that bug farm for like 10 seconds before he gets the requisite supers that he wants. In a speed run, sometimes you farm twice and then you just go and you just hope that you get the supers that you need for Ridley, but this is a race. So I can't imagine that Sloters is gonna have like 3 supers and he's just gonna be like, well, let's go, I'm losing too much time. I think Sloters is gonna make sure that he gets the farm. So watch right now, Sloters is gonna farm here. He's gonna sit, got 0 supers there, 4 supers, that's not enough. I think he wants at least 6 or so before he goes. Yeah. Okay, so he's got 7 now, he's out of there. Cutie, max supers, he's ahead. You can see that farm itself. Look how much time that Cutie just gained on Sloters as a result. Lynx is gonna 1 farm and get out, 7 supers. I think in general, you want somewhere around 8 or so. So yeah. Oh, okay, Lynx is being a little bit safer. Yeah, okay, so he 2 farmed there. Normally Lynx, I'm thinking a speed run would 1 farm, but he chose to do 2 farms there. I think because it's a race setting, I think he's gonna be safe. So I didn't get to see this, but did Cutie skip the wave missiles? Okay, so Lynx is grabbing the wave missiles. Cutie is 14-8. I didn't get to see, but did he skip the wave missiles? So at the highest level, you'll see the runners jump over those missiles that they just acquired, that Lynx and Sloters just picked up recently. Okay, Cutie did grab the wave missiles. Okay, so the thing is, the requisite missiles that you'll have at the end of the game, you need at least 15 missiles and 10 supers to complete the game. To only go with 15-10 into the end of the game at Turian is actually, that's a very much a world record sort of strat. You save about probably 5 seconds overall, and that's assuming you get really good luck. Meanwhile, we have Cutie going for the Lava Spark, gets Lava Spark. That trick is important to nail, and he got it. We'll have to see if Lynx and Sloters can get it too. Oh, I think Sloters, I don't know if he missed a spark or just opted to just go for the gravity jump. So the gravity jump is much, much safer. Because if you miss the spark, you have to do the gravity jump. Both of those take a ton of damage. Lynx getting the lava spark. Okay, so Sloters actually does have less health than the rest of them. So this is a little bit dangerous. So Zenny does have Meridia coming up, but we do need to keep our eyes on here for Cutie, Lynx, and Sloters because this is lower Norfair. This is the second last boss you're supposed to fight in the entire game, and they're fighting Ridley second and going into a really dangerous area with very little health. All these strats, worst room in the game that Cutie just got up right now, all these strats are extremely crucial to nail, otherwise can result in a death or a severely high chance of dying. So we have Sloters laying the power bomb up there. Gets the wall jump, gotta get the second wall jump, got it. Okay, looks like he's gonna get through. Sloters' health is looking a little bit sketchy, so gets through. Now you'll see Cutie is gonna have to do this spark. He stores the spark right here, goes down, bashes into this wall, and the echoes fly down and kill the 2 key hunters. That's important because it'll give you extra drops potentially, and it'll reduce the lag on this power bomb right here that he has to lay. Okay, so we have Cutie getting through. There is a little hopper manip that you can mockball under. This is a very specific time he has to place the bomb right there so that he can mockball under this hopper. Looks good. All right, so Cutie for the most part looks like he's going to be safe. I would say that wasteland area, the wasteland where you do that little mockball, is probably the last quote-unquote dangerous area. Oh no, Lynx made a mistake. Lynx has 0 power bombs. Okay, so this is really dangerous. Lynx didn't keep track of his power bomb count, has to grab the power bombs of shame. This is dangerous for a lot of reasons. He's got to get through this hopper. Okay, the hopper treated him well, but this is a huge time loss. He has to grab these power bombs, and he has to lay the power bomb, try to avoid getting hit by the hopper, and that's a pretty significant time loss. Okay, meanwhile, we have Cutie going in with the X Factor strats. So as you can see, he doesn't have Ice Beam equipped, unlike Sloters. So he is going to fly in, swing those particles over, and let's see how many X Factors he can get off. That's 2 X Factors, And that's 3. I don't think QD goes for 4. Okay, so he's going to switch to 8. That's a really good start to this fight. We have Slaughter's entering the fight with Ice Beam. Lynx will be doing the same thing with just the Ice Beam, so there's no X Factor. In terms of time, they're roughly the same amount of time, so it's mostly a player preference kind of thing. At the highest level, maybe you might prefer going for X Factors for several reasons, but so far... Oh, QD getting grabbed by Ridley there. That's going to be a time loss. Oh, we have Zenny missing the full halfie in Meridia. So has to kind of slog through this Coliseum. But okay, we have to watch this Ridley fight. It's pretty important. Ridley is always... it's one of the hardest fights in the game to master. Probably the hardest boss fight, period, in this game to master. Mainly because you're not playing in... you're not fighting... Ridley isn't going to be like a room time where you just grind a static room. And you get used to, you know, jumping at a very specific platform at a specific time at your pace. Ridley has a very, very complicated set of AI patterns, over-engineered, you could say, and it takes a long time to get used to the fight. So QD getting through the fight, and Slaughter's also getting through the fight. Slaughter's having great health. Okay, so QD is being extra safe here. He's taking a little bit extra arm. He probably wouldn't do in a normal run because you really, really want to have extra health leaving lower Norfair. So 200 is really good. Slaughter's is pretty much at max HP, which means he's probably going to be safe. But neither of those runners took the Ridley E-Tank, which is very much a race strategy that you might employ to survive. So both of these runners choosing to going for a really good qualifier time at the start. Meanwhile, Lynx is trailing behind a little bit. And Zenny takes care of Draygon. I think had a little bit of trouble on that Draygon fight, but did manage to get through it. And okay, so we need to watch QD here. QD is currently doing the Key Hunter shaft. Now, did he get the manipulation? Nice. Those 2 Key Hunters separated for him. They did not separate for Slaughter, so Slaughter's took a hit. Watch their health, 115, 120. The Key Hunters do 50 damage each shot. So this is why they have great HP, because they have to get through another set of Key Hunters. And as of right now, they could take 3 shots before dying. And so Lynx also has 200 HP, also looking really good. So they should be fine, but this is the last dangerous part of the room. Oh, QD took a hit. He'll jump over this Key Hunter, he'll be fine. Okay, so Slaughter's also took a hit. He'll jump over this Key Hunter and he will also be fine. Ideally, you get through that room without taking a hit. It's difficult. You can see QD and Slaughter's both took damage. Lynx managed to weave through those 2 Key Hunters, so 172 HP, unless something goes catastrophically wrong. Oh, Zenny getting the Plasma Spark! So for those of you interested in KPDR, there's a lot going on right now, but I'm sure all the new route runners will be safe. Zenny got in the Plasma Room. That is a very, very tight trick. That might be one of the hardest tricks you can execute in any percent route, but was able to store a spark in the room, navigate a bunch of ledges, and spark up to the top. Typically, when you do a strategy like that, you'll probably have, you know, you'll have most people that do it will end up will be like 3 frames away from failure. But it looks like Zenny was able to get that. That's there's a saying in these races that if you get Plasma Spark, you should automatically win the race. So in that sense, Zenny should have automatically won the race. Okay, meanwhile, we have QD and Slaughter's neck and neck. You know, it's crazy. So Slaughter's is ahead right now. I didn't get to see what happened, but okay, so now QD taking the lead a little bit. It's funny because I have to say QD technically does have the lead right now because Slaughter's does not play with Moonfall. So if it came down to it and it came to the escape and they're in the same pace, QD would gain a little bit of time on Slaughter's because there is a shaft that you have to fall down. And you have to moonfall down that shaft, and Slaughter's would not be able to do that strategy. So, as you can see, QD and Slaughter's neck and neck, they're running back and forth, and here we go. So, a little bomb jump to the side, and you can see that they're shooting downwards. The reason why they're doing that is there's Kraid's claws are spawning there, and if you shoot them and you get them, it should reduce the lag in this room. Okay, so, Kraid quick kill, nice for both of them. QD employing a few extra lag strats. And oh, QD's health not looking good. 75 health. Now, You ideally would have at least 120-ish health here, and the reason for that is heading to Phantoon and Meridia, there's a spark that you need to do on a room called Mount Everest. It's the giant room, and there's a door at the top right. The fastest way to get up there is to just spark up there. Now the thing is, that costs you something in the realm of, I want to say 50 health. And if you're under 30 health, you'll get health bombed. And what that means is Phantoon, when you kill him, will not give you the drops that you need. So that's absolutely crucial. Otherwise, you have to start farming before the Draygon fight. So Cutie really wants to get some big health here. That's 96 health. You could technically spark there, but it's really dangerous. Ideally, you can spark up to Everest and have about 60 health, which lets you take a hit on Phantoon. Now, if you take one hit on Phantoon and you have 60 health, usually you'll be fine. You won't get health bombed, but you really don't want to get health bombed here. So we'll see if Cutie opts to go for a strat that's a few seconds slower. It's the backup where you do a spin jump to the top and you just you save health. But yeah, so that's what Cutie's doing. So you'll see the spin jump, wall jump right here, and then wall jump the rest of the way. So bam, Cutie is still a little bit ahead, but you can see Sloter's just sparked all the way to the top and he's safe. All right, so we have Zenny heading up to, heading to lower Norfair, heading down to, I guess you should say. As you can see, much safer, can just space jump up here, no need to do any sort of dangerous lava spark. And we have Lynx entering Meridia now. So, Phantoon is not a difficult fight at the highest level, but things can go really, really wrong if you mess this up. So, we have the, all right, so as you can see, the X Factor for Cutie. Oh, Cutie doing a double X Factor strat on that top pattern Phantoon. And we have Sloter's doing a more traditional timing X Factor. So Cutie did what's known as the D Factor, which is you swing the first X Factor so all the particles fly over and hit Phantoon in the face. And then shot 2 supers, and then he did a double X Factor strat. That's the Cutie special. Meanwhile, we had Sloter's do something a little bit more old school, which is you just time the first X Factor so the initial particles converge on Phantoon, and you do it based off a sound cue. Oh, Cutie missing the full halfie. Will Sloter's get the full halfie? Cutie will also have to slog through this. Watch this time that Sloter's gains. Flies right across the room. Looks really good. Cutie has insane drops right now. But yeah, as you can see, Cutie has to go through this room very slowly. Zenny had to do this exact same thing earlier. Oh, looks like Lynx is having some trouble with Phantoon. Looks like maybe an X Factor particle missed or something went wrong, but having to do some slow backup strats. There's no good fast way to kill Phantoon after this. So unfortunately, yeah, Lynx is gonna lose a little bit of time here. And we have the Draygon fight coming up for Cutie and Sloter's. All right, meanwhile, we have Zenny heading over to that Ridley fight. Ridley taking significantly less shots in old route. 20 plasma shots to the face would be good. Okay, so let's see. Will Sloter's get the 2 spark? Got a little crouch lock there. Oh, nice. Will he get the spike suit? I think Cutie had a bad opener in that fight. All right, so Sloter's gets the spike suit. Okay, Cutie didn't have the greatest opener, but with all the ammo that he had, was able to get a good two-round Draygon on the fight. Also got the spike suit right there. So spike suit lets you, it's essentially a glitch in the game, but as you can see, Sloter's is flying back over the Coliseum. You'll see Cutie doing the exact same thing. It's a glitch essentially that lets you store a charge, and you don't actually have any sort of timer. It just gets triggered when you press up when you're in the air or when you press jump. So Sloter's showing why he's so good at races, taking the lead as of right now, and we have Zenny cleaning up that Ridley fight. That looked like a really clean Ridley fight to me right now. So, all right, we'll have to, right now, Cutie and Sloter's are just getting through these rooms. We're gonna have to watch this Draygon fight by Lynx. That looked like a good opener, so this might be a clean 2-round for Lynx. Ooh, I think Draygon has like 50 HP. I think 1 missile shot will do it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so when you see a clean opener like that, I think Lynx may have not been able to get an extra, a missile might have gotten eaten for Lynx, and that might not have been enough health to finish this fight. Unfortunately, Lynx does not get the spike suit, so he's gonna have to go back across the Coliseum in a slow way. Meanwhile, Sloter's is taking the lead right now, and Cutie has 10 supers. I have never seen That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Typically, you could see Sloters' resources. 2 super missiles, 125 HP. That's very common in this route, and you just hope that in Turian you get the drops that you need to complete the game. I have never seen someone, not even before the Phantoon, the Meridia exit farm, have 10 supers and 218 HP. I don't know what kind of magic that QD decided to hack the game with there, but that is the most insane set of resources I've ever seen. If there was ever a time to do some crazy strategy in the first Metroid room in New Route, where you just super all the individual Metroids, this would be the time to do it. Don't know if QD's gonna do something like that. But meanwhile, we have Sloters taking a pretty sizable lead right here, even against QD. And we have Zenny heading out. It's hard to say where Zenny is right now. It's important to note that there is no way that Zenny's going to get to G4 before the rest of these runners, and the reason for that is because Zenny has Plasma Beam. So even though he's behind right now, he's going to save something in the realm of 40 seconds on that Mother Brain 2 fight, because Mother Brain 2 is going to die in 20 shots to his Plasma Beam, while Mother Brain's going to die to 60 Spazer Ice shots to the rest of the runners here. So this is a crazy one. Sloters has the lead, but Sloters' resources are significantly less than QD's. So things can go wrong and he might have to farm, and QD immediately gets that advantage. QD also has the Moonfall advantage on Sloters going into the final stages of the race. Meanwhile, Zenny's trailing behind, but he's got a 40-second time save with that Plasma. And a few others with his space jump, but that's not as significant. So we'll see how this works out. In general, Zenny would be expected to not beat out the rest of these runners, primarily because KPDR is going to be, with all that being said, is going to be roughly 90 seconds or so slower. Okay, so we gotta watch Sloters and QD here. Let's see what kind of resources they get. Sloters wants to see come out of here with, you know, several resources. Gets no supers on that first one. Oh, okay. That's okay, I guess. Sloters' resources looking okay. He has to get a bunch of supers here or a bunch of missiles, but his health is also not looking good either. Okay, that's really good. He got a bunch of missiles there. So Sloters is gonna wanna probably missile this next one to ensure that he can get through it. He needs to leave with at least 20 and 9. Oh, and he has it just enough. And QD also has 20 and 10. Okay, so Sloters still has a little bit of a lead here. But Sloters does have one less super. That means if a super gets eaten, for Sloters, like a turret blocks the shot or he just whiffs the super somehow, Sloters, that ends the run for Sloters. That means he's done. He will not be able to finish the game. QD has 1 super buffer because he does have the 10 supers. So, baby skip. Okay. This is crucial. This will potentially determine the game. All right. Baby skip for Sloters and QD. Okay, so we got a race. We have Lynx flying through Turian. Good drops for him. I think he'll be okay unless he gets scammed in the next 3 rooms. And we have Zenny entering G4. Okay, so eyes kind of have to be on Sloters here, because he has the highest chance of failing MB1. Killing those Rinkas. Okay. Alright, so Sloters getting through just fine, and QD should get through just fine as well. Okay, so Link's getting through, has the requisite resources that he needs to get through the rest of this. And it's coming down to Sloters and QD. This is a close match. All right, and don't count out Zenny. He is 40 seconds ahead technically. Okay, ooh, that was dangerous. Keep in mind, if they go on, they currently have 359 HP. If they go under 300 HP or 300 or less, fight is over. Mother Brain's Rainbow Beam will kill them at the end. So this is definitely the scarier fight than it seemed to be. Slaughter's taking some damage. Okay, we're in the catch-up phase for both players now. Link's getting started. Both of these players should be safe, but you never know. Okay, so Slaughter's and Cutie getting through. Wow, this race is so close between the two of them. Oh, Slaughter's has... Oh, no. Okay, I thought Slaughter's had good cutscenes. So, if you see the back of Mother Brain's toenail, if that is outside of the edge of the wall, then you actually will just... Basically, you could consider RNG, but you'll save about 3 seconds. I don't think Slaughter's has good cutscene, but that would potentially save him a few extra seconds. Meanwhile, we have Zenny getting through this fight, or heading over to Mother Brain, and Lynx is getting through the fight as well. All right, so Zenny getting through this Mother Brain fight. As you can see, he's gonna melt through the Mother Brain 2 fight so quickly. Potentially just completely catch up to Lynx right here. Oh man, this is a crazy race between Slaughters and Cutie. Keep in mind, Cutie is gonna save a few seconds on Slaughters because of the moonfall in the Leodoc's room, in the escape. But if there's anyone that can clutch out that victory here, it's gonna be Slaughters. Slaughters being the winner of the 2021 SGLIVE Super Metroid Tournament. This is the 2022, never mind the overlay right there. But Link's getting through this MB2 fight, and we have Zenny making short work of MB2 here. All right. So, we have, in a sense, two great races here. We got Slaughters versus Cutie, and we got Lynx versus Zenny. Slaughters is a little bit close to MB2, so you can expect a little bit less lag, but he may not, a few of his hits are gonna miss as a result. Cutie's staying a little bit further behind, which is a little more conservative, a little bit more lag in general, but we'll get more hits off. In the end, Slaughters still ahead. All right, so 3 dangerous rooms. This room is gonna be fine that Slaughters is at. This spark that he's gonna do is probably, this is all gonna be safe. I don't expect these runners to mess this up. Now, the room that Slaughters is about to enter, from here on out, it gets dangerous. There's a lot of jumps that you can miss, and it's really scary. Okay, so good wall jumps up to the top. Oh, misses one grab. So here's the non-moonfall that Slaughters has to do. Has to fall down this slowly. Cutie moonfalls, and is just trailing behind for just a few seconds. Okay, so now we have the spark. This spark can be dangerous. Angle spark up. No bonk. Okay, no bonk for either player. Now we're getting up the parlor. This is the last one. This is how Slaughters won last year. Getting up these rooms, you can't miss a wall jump here. Oh, and Cutie misses a little bit of a wall jump, and that might be what causes Slaughters to win this. Oh my goodness, it's Slaughters finishing this race on stream, first place with an official racetime.gg time of 42 minutes and 25 seconds. Cutie trailing right behind and finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 42 minutes and 29 seconds. GG to both of these players. Oh my goodness. What a race between these two players. Slaughters once again showing that he deserved to win last year's tournament and comes out as of right now is currently has the best time in the SGLIVE 2022 qualifiers. All right, so we have Lynx finishing up this escape. And we have Zenny also following right behind him. All right, get your GGs out for links. We have Zenny coming right behind as well. All right, GG. So, get your GGs out for everyone. The 4 people on the restream right now: Sloters, Cutie, Lynx, Zenny, all finishing in that order: 1, 2, 3, and 4. GG. Amazing showing by all these runners. Lynx finishing with an official race time.gg time of 43 minutes 42 seconds, and Zenny finishing with an official race time.gg time of 44 minutes and 1 second. Congratulations to all 4 of these runners. Really putting up a good showing. Wow, just an amazing race. Ooh. I can't stress enough how exciting that this tournament is going to be, and how stacked this lobby honestly was. I mean, if you want to just keep in mind, other runners that are in this lobby include, you know, Ruyarin. We even had Zosti, the world record holder at the moment in this lobby. Unfortunately, was not able to finish. So, I mean, that just goes to show how difficult it was. All right, so we have the winner of the race with us right now. Sloters 27. GG Sloters, how are you feeling right now?
Thank you, Eddie. Man, what? I wasn't really watching too closely, but what a race that looked like. Jeez.
Yeah, that was a crazy race, and you know what pretty much sealed the deal. Do you know how the race kind of ended and what sealed the deal?
No, not exactly.
So you guys were basically neck and neck. You were slightly ahead once again. Cutie slightly caught up to you in parlor. He was probably like a second behind. And then after the spark, you guys were basically right next to each other. At the very top, Cutie actually missed a little bit of a jump, and you didn't. So
history repeats itself, I guess.
Repeats itself, and once again, you getting first in this qualifier really goes to show that, you know, you definitely deserve that win last year. You know, pretty much winning out in the same way. Just goes to show, you know, clutching out on those races is a pretty important factor.
Yeah, you know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at a real cutie, and you can see that statement is not true.
I was oh, okay, every qualifier, I'm just going to go 15-10, balls to the wall. And then I saw Zost and Ruya died, and I was like, I'm just going to go 20-10, and look at what it got me. Look at, I didn't even need him either.
No, you didn't. But you know what? Sloters did, because he actually went to Turian after he left M4. He was 20-9, so he needed that 20-10. He definitely needed 20-10 to get finish this race. So, Cutie, were you keeping tabs on this race? Did you know where you were in relation to Sloters and the rest of them?
I did at G4. I wasn't gonna keep it up and keep looking at it. Basically downtime. So like G4. Basically, yeah. G4 and what is it? Bowling. That's what it was. Yeah, thanks.
G4.
I know, Zos, the Arc Destroyer.
Yeah, so Zos did join the tournament as well. He joined this qualifier kind of on the last minute. Zos did end up, I didn't get to see what happened, but Zos did also end up dying at some point, it looks like, whether it be Turian or Gravity or something like that. But yeah, so Cutie, I gotta ask, were you nervous at all at the end? Were you thinking like, oh man, I really want to clinch this first place spot? Or just let me know how you were feeling towards the end.
I wouldn't say I was nervous. I figured I could catch up in Turian, and I did catch up quite a bit until I got the bad IRL mashed the enter key RNG and put a slash at the end, adding about like what 3-4 seconds to my time. No, I knew I was coming in with a lot of supers, so I figured I would be able to make up a bunch of time. My mother brain fight was like shockingly bad. Like I missed like 2 shots, but like the ending cycle was fine, and it seemed like it was okay. And then I like checked my timer, and it was like 1:53, which is like he want like 148s and stuff, so that was kind of unfortunate. But what can you do? You get outplayed sometimes, you know.
You know, I was gonna say, Sloters, you know, it's funny because I feel like you generally don't sweat this that much, but you were leaving Meridia, and I think you had what, 8 missiles, 2 supers, and like 100 HP or something like that. I don't even know. Which honestly is like pretty standard when you run New Route. That's kind of a standard thing, right? And Cutie, I don't know if you got to see, but I've never seen this happen before. Rio left, or sorry, Cutie left like Draygon with I think 10 supers, and he had like 200 HP or something like that. I've never seen anything like that.
Well, yeah, that's because I missed full halfy as part of the HP reason.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed full halfy, and I even missed one of the supers Phantoon dropped, which was kind of funny. It's not the only time I've seen that. With double X Factor, it's a lot more common. I had it once in a PB that didn't do double X Factor or anything like that. It used all 6 on Phantoon and just got like God drops from Phantoon and Draygon. I got like 7 supers from Draygon. I think it was like 4301 or something was that PB, and it was like, it should be illegal to leave Draygon with that many supers, I think. Like, maybe this time shouldn't count.
So, all right. Now, naturally, I gotta ask, Sloters, how does it feel to get first and beating out Katie by 4 seconds here?
Well, I was in a voice chat with Eden and MM2 during the race. Shoutouts to them. I told them this is great for my ego, but it's going to make me really toxic for a while, gloating about this one. But I'm glad it was a good race, though.
It's fine. I got 7 more qualifiers to run a couple 41s. So
yeah, I gotta say, Sloters, Cutie is out for blood. I think Cutie wants to take that first if he can. So he's not gonna make it easy for you on the rest of the qualifiers. Meanwhile, we got Zenny joining us in the interview booth as well. Zenny, how you doing? Discord muted Zenny by any chance? I see the unmute button. Oh, hello?
Hello?
Oh, yep, there we go.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
All right, so Zenny, finishing 4th place officially, running KPDR.
Yeah.
So that was great. Can you give us some thoughts on that race? Anything on your mind? I definitely saw a few things. Tried to keep up with it. It's hard when you have 3 New Era runners and we have an any percent classic runner here. But yeah, give us your thoughts on that race.
Yeah, for sure. So I have this issue with race nerves that I've had for the past like 2 years. Like, it used to never be a thing, and now it's always a thing, and it's really frustrating. Right out the gate, I had like a God Pace series escape, right? And then I got steamed, and anyway, so I was like shaky. But I feel like the run went fairly well, considering I've been doing PRKD for like a week and a half and wasn't touching KPDR at all, so I had to kind of dust that off a little bit last night and this morning. And ultimately, you know, I wasn't really paying attention to the stream at all because I didn't want to psych myself out, but I feel like my run went fairly well. It's a fast, slow Phantoon. No real issues until Meridia. It kind of started to fall apart. If I remember correctly, I messed up Phantoon, and then I missed one of the wall jumps on the halfy, so I got a no halfy, and just some stuff like that. But yeah, ultimately I somehow pulled a 43 out of this run. So I'm pretty happy with it as far as a qualifier race goes.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you know, in a race setting where you literally just have one run and that's it, playing about a minute. What's your current KPD or PB right now? It's a 42:56. 42:50. So playing roughly 1 minute off in a race setting, honestly, that's pretty darn good. I mean, if you're a freak like Soder is and you're playing basically 10 seconds off your PB, I guess it's a little different. But like 1 minute off your race setting, I feel like is actually incredibly good, especially when you said you're getting a little bit nervous. But I think you can clearly see where you might have lost some time. But you know, I gotta say, running old route, or also any percent classic as you like to call it, you know, placing fourth against all these really, really good runners I think that's incredible personally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're being honest, you know, there were some forfeits. So it was fourth place in quotations, right? But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the run. Turian especially went pretty dang well.
Yeah.
I actually bonked on the baby skip, so I had to do the backup. You
wow.
back
Okay, I didn't get to catch that, but I did see some people mention that. So you did the bonk before the first jump. Is that what ended up happening?
Yeah, exactly.
That's always really scary because I feel like the baby doesn't always cooperate necessarily when you do it.
Right, yeah, it's pretty specific. Like the backup, if you do it correctly, it's pretty consistent, but it's really specific. If you run at the wrong time or jump at the wrong time, then the baby will just grab you. So
okay, and that was pretty crucial because that might have been the difference between your current placing and the next placing. But yeah, the 30 seconds there for sure is definitely. It's a good thing that you saved that.
Yeah, for sure.
My strat when I bonk baby skip is I just pray.
You just run back and go.
Yes, I just pray. I just run back right, run to the left, and just pray.
I mean, that's pretty much it for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Cutie, I heard you say you had some done issues there at the end.
Yeah, I smashed the enter key, but I hit / right before.
Shoot, dude.
Lost a couple seconds to the IRL keyboard RNG. Yeah.
Dang.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, great race. Good showing, everyone. Do any of you have any last words that you'd like to say for the restream?
I could meme on Sloters, but I'll pass. I'll pass.
Thanks, Zenny. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, GG's, guys. That was a really good race. I'm glad we got a good one for the opener for the tournament.
For sure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, so great race. Really excited. Super happy to see how this turned out. Solder's once again showing why he was the winner of last year's SGLIVE 2021. But this is SGLIVE 2022. It's bigger. We got a lot of big names going on here. Really exciting. There's going to be another match of qualifier number 2, and it's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern. So tune in later. It's going to be on SpeedGaming 4 as of right now. Should be the same way. But thank you so much for everyone watching here. Thank you so much for all the runners. Thank you so much for everyone here. If you would be so kind, give all these runners a follow. There's still time to join the races if you are interested in participating in the Any Percent tournament. It is free to play and free to join. So check the Discords for more details. And that about does it right here. So thank you so much for everyone watching. Thank you for all the runners playing. And this has been Eddie for SGLIVE 2022. And we will see you next mission.